Today I'm going to do the Casioak mod on my yellow G-Shock. I bought the yellow G-Shock because it was cheaper than the black and white one at the time I ordered it. Also, I ordered the Gen 1 kit because it was cheaper as well. But I kind of blew my budget when I found out I'd ordered two, because my first order I thought had timed out. So it comes with some pretty good tools. 2 screwdrivers and a push pin and spring bar removal tool. The kit itself is 124 grams, which makes the final watch 142 grams. So first impressions, I'm not that impressed with the bezel. I wish that large section was brushed rather than shiny. The strap is fine and it's mainly brushed. Some reviews had said that this is more forgiving than the Gen 2. You've probably seen a lot of videos on how to do the mod, so it's pretty easy. Just undo the 4 screws. Use a spring bar tool to remove the spring bar. Then take off the bezel. A lot of the colorways look very similar once the strap and bezel is off, so you can choose whatever you want. Just reattach the screws. Just one hint here, don't tighten it all the way because it can muck up with the alignment of the other screws. You can't remove the original spring bars because it's trapped. So just use the spring bars with the kit. Here I am trying to adjust the links. They're held together by spring bars. It's quite easy to remove them, but it's very difficult to put them back. I eventually had to get the links adjusted by a jeweler because it's so tight to get those spring bars back in. It's a bit disappointing that the links come off the edge, but I can actually see why they do it because it looks really, really nice when you look at it from the top. So here's some thoughts on how the watch looks. Originally I would have thought the black and white one looks more similar to a real oak, but there's something quite interesting about this particular combination. It's sort of like a half stealth mode, but with the hand still legible. And I think without the classic Casio ridges there, it would have looked a bit more dressy. You've got to be a bit careful with the spring bar nodes because they're not protected like they are in the original band. But in my case, they're off to the sides of my wrist. And I think if you had a bigger wrist, it would still be okay because that rigid first link keeps it off the wrist. One last point, it's the first time I've ever tried to do my own link adjustment. It's probably best to keep one more link on the side nearest the micro adjustments because the buckle extends one link past that spot. See right now you can see even though there's the same number of links on each side, it's a little bit unbalanced. One of the things I will say is that when I first put it on, I missed the lightness of the original combination, but it takes just a little while to get used to it. See, the bezel here is sloped and the Casio ridges make it more conforming to the original G-Shock shape. The real oak has a more distinctive horizontal section, and that's present in the Gen 2 design. One of the negatives that I hear about this watch is that the digital display is very hard to read. But I think the designers have actually got it quite right, especially in this form. In normal lighting and angles, it disappears completely and it looks like a full analog watch, especially when contrasted with the silver finish and at normal viewing distances. One little quirk which gives it an advantage over the real Royal Oak is its complete symmetry. I've accidentally put this watch on upside down and you couldn't tell from a glance. The half-hidden indices of the yellow make it not look like a Royal Oak, but it's actually quite nice because it's more subtle. So I'm really in love with my mod now and enjoying it not as a Royal Oak lookalike, but for what it is, a very handsome metal G-Shock.